Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. I see the chat's been going for a minute. Hi, CE Love. Good to see you. Hi, Laura. Happy to have you here tonight. Always, my Brian Boggs, my buddy. Talking about D&D around here, I see. My daughter likes playing that. My brothers played it when I was a kid. I got into Magic the Gathering for a little while, but I never got into D&D. Hi, Michelle Moreland, love. Good to see you. Hi, Marty Moser. Happy to have you here. K.L. Burke, good to see you, love. Hi, dolphins, honey. I got something in my mail today. I didn't know that I got it in my mail, though, because they put it on my porch, even though there's a big sign on my door that says, please put at top of handicap ramp. But they didn't. And I just happened to see it, so. Wow. Y'all. The elusive Palmyra Productions has entered the chat. It's been a minute. Happy you made it back. We were all worried about you. Caught your death of cold, you did. Hi, Bonnie Andrews, honey. Good to have you here. Yeah, I am so happy you guys showed up. You came for a good one. You did. I have some really neat stuff. And what delayed me, my spidey senses tingled on a docket today saying, you've got to get something out of that. And it was a 4.5 hour long docket. I'm not kidding you when I say I was 3 hours and 20 minutes into it before I found something. I was ready to give up because I had like 5 minutes before I had to come on. And I was like, there is nothing here. Why on earth did my tinglies go off saying I had to find something in it? Nope. Right then. That's when it came. So we just missed you, that's all. Okay, I have to go grab it. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. You actually, hold on. Let me see if Ava, come here. Wrong side, doofus. Come here. Come. I know she wants to see you. See, there's a good girl. There's a good Ava. Yes, there's a good Ava. I know that's what Holly wants. Okay. I'm gonna put on something short and sweet while I go grab it. It's literally just in the other room, but I don't want to leave the chat just dead silent because that's not nice to anybody. So give me 2 seconds here. You know what? It's almost Christmas, so I'm gonna put on a bad Santa.
And Barry and Toby Howard, of which I see no money paid. So Might take a
You
while.
ready, Judge?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, if you could turn your cameras on and raise your right hands and turn off your mute, please. Okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I thought we had some monies paid. I am showing that we have 0 monies paid on this case. Is that correct, Mr. Berry?
Yes, I'm trying to pay today.
You're trying to pay today. How much are you
Yeah.
going to pay today?
9.
900?
Yes.
Redbone Coonhound and Australian Shepherd mix. And she's sneezing.
Okay. I am going to give you the opportunity to hold your word. But I'm going to put you right back on the calendar to make sure that it's done. So, Miss Lanier, what's my first calendar in January?
January the 5th.
Okay, so we're going to come right back on January the 5th. But you know, and I'm only doing this because I'm trying to see if this child can get some money for Christmas. But if there is no money that has moved forward because nothing has happened thus far in this case, I'm putting down here on my notes that warrant shall issue, because I don't recall you paying since you've been coming back and forth to court. Miss Howard, can you correct me if I'm wrong? Have you received any money?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
think the
and what
judge
was the
believes
reason
him.
that you couldn't pay before today?
I'm not working,
Well,
and I'm
that's not a
trying to.
reason.
Okay. So I'll be paid today. So is that noted?
Yeah, well, I'm not noting anything other than warrant shall issue if
Okay.
$900 is not received, you know, because this has been going on too long and I don't
Okay.
understand why. Is there a
Okay.
reason why you're not working?
Um, when I tried to explain that, you didn't want to hear it. So I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to pay $900 today. So can I proceed with that? Like, do I need to come
Okay, no,
down somewhere
nothing.
to pay,
Okay.
or
Oh, well,
Um,
yeah, you can come in to pay, that's no problem, or you can go to many of the kiosks and other available ways to pay. Do you, if you need more information,
yes?
how are you trying to pay? I guess is the question. Are you trying
Well,
to pay through the kiosk or do you want to go to, I don't think you can go to the office. Can you, Miss Carson?
No, they generally frown on that now.
Yeah.
okay. So so,
but
so
you can.
going to the kiosk. Where is that located?
They're in the lobbies of the offices, but they do tend to charge a bit more. The most economical way to do it is get a money order and mail it in.
Okay.
Bad Santa.
I
Uh,
also
I
informed
also
him.
I also wanted to let you know that your driver's license was suspended July 30th, 2018. You're aware of that?
Oh,
Yeah.
2018.
As he sits in the driver's
I
seat.
have told him that he can go to Walmart and get a Walmart card and
Okay, but we're
call.
not talking about what you said. I'm trying to get a clarification from the courts on how to do it. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to hear what your suggestions are.
Okay,
Okay?
okay, hold on, Mr. Berry. And Miss Howard, we want him to pay directly through child support so that it gets
yes,
credited because
It's
yes. That's what I
child
was going to say.
support.
He can get a Walmart card because he doesn't have a banking account. I told
Mhm.
him that he can contact the child support and he can pay
Mhm.
over the phone that way, or he can go and there's an app that he can go on, DCS app, and he can
Okay,
that he can pay it online that way. I told him that. He don't want to hear what I have
Mhm.
to say.
Okay, so yeah, she is accurate in what she's saying. So if you want to, go ahead to pay, move it forward, because clearly she's probably already told you that a few times. Okay? Okay, so I'm not going to belabor it. Everybody knows what they need to do here, and we will see you again January 5th, 2024. And I suggest that you seek employment. It may not be what you want to do, but something that you need to do. And, and you can always work a job that you're not happy with until you find the one that you are happy with, so that you can pay your expenses, because you've got $2,280 that have accrued in arrearage, and you need to, take it seriously. Okay? I'm going to dismiss both of you, and I will see you on January the 5th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
What's sad is that guy doesn't realize that just because he doesn't feel like getting a job, his kid still has to eat. His kid still needs clothes. And if he's not contributing to the child that he helped make, then he's not doing his part. Because the kid needs stuff whether he feels like it or not. He was just a little too eager for the judge to make the note that he paid. Like, no, you pay and then that note gets made. Hi, Philip Heels, honey. Good to see you. Happy you made it. All right. Dolphin's got me a present. So I'm going to see what it is. Pull to open. I love that when the pull to open. I love when it does that. But that's okay, because it's still easy to pull to open. Oh my gosh. Oh, I saw this on there and I wanted it so bad. I know there is an easy in here. Oh my gosh. It's a kitty cat mouse pad and wrist guard. Thank you so much. My very own paw protector. And it's got a coaster for my coffee, which won't matter. The cats will still knock it over. Y'all, I'm not even kidding you. My desk would be dry if I didn't have cats. This is so awesome. Thank you so much. Hold on. I know there's always a gift note in here. There's always a gift note to read. It says, Merry Christmas to you and the Paw Firm from Holly. Thank you so much, Holly. I love you. I love you so much. Oh my gosh, this makes me so happy. My wrists were getting super, super sore from doing all the editing and clickety clicking and on the desk, and now I can type and I can clickety click and in comfort and style. Oh my gosh, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. Ava can be jealous. Ava got the most delicious smelling prime bones the other day. Oh my goodness. She's lucky I know those things are for dogs because they smell so good. be quiet. Quit being a crabby old coot and join in the fun. Oh, thank you, sweetie. I know Ava's your favorite. I know that. Yes, Merry Christmas. They're not evil. They're just selfish and clumsy and stubborn and sometimes mean, but not evil. They're very intelligent. I know. And they're all very spoiled. Oh, thank you. I love you. Oh my gosh. No, I'm not that desperate yet. I have heard stories of like little old ladies like who can't afford food anymore, so they eat cat food and things like that. I am not there yet. Things are bad around here, but they're not that bad. And I don't know, like, how they think that's any cheaper than actual food, because y'all, cat food's not cheap. It's like, for a tiny little can of Fancy Feast or whatever, it's like 70 cents. Like, no. Like, I'd have to eat 2 or 3 of those at least. And no, those don't smell nearly as good. The prime bones, they actually smell like meat market from my hometown. Like, I would go in there and like the smoke and jerky smell, it just filled the whole place, and it was awesome. And I kind of miss that. It made me a little homesick, the little things, right? It is, yes. Oh, yeah. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Your fault, you owe me a malt. They're giving you them eyes, aren't they? Them big eyes. I am very familiar with them eyes. Yes. I know. I know those eyes. I see them. Come on. I see them every day. Oh, I love this girl. I love her, and she is so spoiled. She really is. Give them the eyes, Ava. Give them the eyes. Are you going to start singing? And in the arms of the angels. Yeah, I can't sing that one. She's trying to convince you that she's so neglected. She's saying, send treats, send treats. I know. Come on. There was no hesitation. She's like, that's mine. Gimme. Oh, I love her. I love her. I love her. Yeah, I know. And tastes better, I'll bet. I will bet it tastes better. Yes. Aww. Absolutely. Much love to all of you. All of you. They do not. They do not. No. They're so nice to her. They are all best friends. They are. It's hilarious to watch them play. And oh my goodness. Okay, so Earl, I mean, you've seen Earl. He's like the ferret version of a cat. He's so long, and like if you pick him up, there's like no weight to him. He's not skinny. I mean, he's chubby, but it's weird. Like he's so light for as big as he is. And he's just so like slinky. I swear, if I were to flip his legs over at the top of the stairs, he would just keep flipping down them. He's like a slinky. Oh my gosh. So anyways, when Ava and Earl play, Ava will literally just boom, her paw right onto Earl. Just bump him right to the ground and pin him. And it's like, Ava, be gentle, be gentle. And Earl just rolls over. They are the funniest too. And when I play laser pointer with them, like I used to just play it with the cat. Well, at the time I only had Earl. As far as cats go. But Ava was first, and then Earl, and then Billy. So at the time I was just trying to play laser pointer with the cat. And he was having so much fun. And at that time, Ava wanted nothing to do with Earl. Nothing at all. Like Earl would walk in the room and Ava would growl. It was like, all right, eventually they'll be friends. We just gotta tough this out. Well, yeah, Ava, I didn't know if it would ever happen. She was traumatized from the last cat that I had. But yeah, so I'm playing laser pointer with Earl, and all of a sudden Ava sees it. And then Ava starts like chasing after it, and she would get real close to Earl, and then to go after the red dot, and then all of a sudden realize, oh my god, I'm near that cat. And then she'd like back off, and then she's kind of like, well, screw it, this is more fun, I don't care anymore. And that's how I actually got the two of them to be friends. And then that became their favorite game to play together. Oh my gosh. My cat's a wall licker. Have y'all seen that yet? Oh my gosh, it's the funniest thing. Oh, I could not believe when I saw that. Not just licking the wall, but actually eating it. Who does that, Earl? Apparently you. If y'all haven't, on my playlist there's a video of my cat eating the wall. Hi, Vanilla Bean. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so happy you're here. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love when people from the replay crew are finally able to come to the lives. I'm so happy to see you, and thank you for the compliments. That means so much to me. Yes, I know it is, but it's true. And that's the worst part about it. It sounds like something Team Skeptic would call someone, but my cat really is one. Okay, now I gotta show y'all. Oh, I can't. Well, yeah, I can. Hold on. I know how to do this. I'm a professional, y'all. Yes, I want to do this. Um, here we go. Who's got the zoomies? My zoomy boy. Yes, my light takes 3.5 clicks. Not 3, 3.5. I'm gonna get you. I'll get you. That's Ava just being Ava. Now, the most epic face of all is coming up here. Why are you trying to eat my wall? That right there. Did you not? That face. That was something. What are you doing there, dude? Here it comes, y'all. You really? I don't appreciate that. How long have you been working on that? Do you care to explain yourself? I was so mad. This. Look at this. This is little tiny pieces of my wall. So mad. Are you gonna call the carpenter? Yeah, this is me mad. Earl, stop that. Please. Why are you on my bed? Oh my gosh. My honey. Yeah.
With a hard G.
Yeah. Yep, that's my cat. Well, my daughter's cat. That's my grandbaby, my grandson cat. Yep. The animals. Every one of them. So if anybody knows a good sheetrocker, and painter, apparently, I'd like my room in a light gray with dark gray, accents, however that works. Oh, yes. I do also have a rope that I made myself that, one end, what's that called? Slip knot kind of rope thing where one end moves and the other doesn't. It was a fishing knot that I was trying to learn how to make, but I made it on rope that was like that thick. So everybody thinks it's for other stuff. I was pretty damn proud of myself. Hi, Archangel. Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Yes, I love you guys so much. I have the best chat. It might help. It might help. Oh, keep it up, y'all. And I'm going to go into the Discord and I'm going to go to the Naughty Nightstand tab and start reading some stories. I don't go in there for a reason. Well, it was actually noodling or canoodling. How do they say that? Canoodling? The catfish, and where you stick your hole into a tunnel underwater in the river in the mud, and then you pull out a catfish as it chomps on your arm and spins around and takes a couple fingers off. I've seen people do that, videos of it. No, man, y'all got some canoodles I ain't got. Yeah, noodling. I'll throw it in the chat during the next video, which, all right, guys, first, I'm going to put on the one that took me 3 hours and 20 freaking minutes to find. I just knew something was in that one. I had to find it. Yes, Earl is Tech Kitty. Yeah. I knew something was in it. 4.5 hour long docket, and it took 3 hours and 20 freaking minutes to come across anything. But I was happy once I found it.
How's your day going, Mr. Feaster?
It's going all right, Josh. It's all
About
right.
to be good, exponentially better or worse, depending on how you.
Yeah. Hopefully better.
Oh, again,
That'll
depends.
test.
Mine's not
All
getting any
right.
better. I don't know if anyone cares about that.
All right, so we are here today on a pretrial. I am going to put a few things on the record for the record. All right. We are here today for a pretrial, and I am issuing a ruling on Mr. Williams' continued self-representation. On August 16th, 2023, I allowed your court-appointed counsel to withdraw after I was satisfied that under the law, you made an unequivocal request to represent yourself, Mr. Williams. Moreover, I explained to you the dangers and the disadvantages of self-representation. At the time, you stated you understood, sir. Since this matter has been bound over, the following disruptions have occurred. On May 31st, 2023, you refused to participate in the pretrial hearing. You have filed motions without properly serving the Attorney General's office. The motions often contain nonsensical statements and difficult matters to distill from me, from the court, what arguments are being advanced, some made with outrageous requests. In a motion in limine filed with the court, for instance, you write, quote, All kinds of animal, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures have been tamed by mankind, but no human being can tame the tongue. It is a rest evil full of deadly poison, more deadly than poison that was given to defendants in 1995 that needed the help of the ABA fathers by his graces and Jesus' mercy. That defendants came back from its coma states, end quote. You demand there is a pretrial ruling on, quote, each and every evidence with no legal authority or cogent analysis. Your motions have either been improperly served or improperly noticed. This is just one snippet from one of the motions you filed. I have previously warned you that this type of conduct would not be tolerated. You refused to participate in the pretrial hearing on December 6th, 2023, and by my observation, you are refusing to participate in the pretrial hearing as of today's date. Sir, there is no absolute right to represent yourself. Under Michigan and U.S. Constitution, your self-representation cannot disrupt, unduly inconvenience, and burden the court in the administration of the court's business. I am convinced on the record before me that you have every intention to seriously obstruct these proceedings. Therefore, you have forfeited your right to represent yourself, which this court does not take lightly, as you have the right to act as your own counsel, but I have a duty to see that criminal adjudications proceed in an orderly fashion and result in trustworthy convictions. This time, I am ordering and ruling that the defendant has forfeited his right to represent himself based on his obstructionist behavior. His objective is to insert as much chaos into these proceedings as possible. At this time, I am appointing the Washtenaw County Public Defender to represent you in this matter until further order of the court. I will issue an order to that effect, but that is the current state of things. I'm just going to say at this point, Mr. Feaster, I don't know if you have any thoughts of motions to file, but I'm thinking I'm just going to give you a trial date.
That's fine, Judge. I guess my question is, Mr. Williams, when I met with him briefly last week, has indicated he does not want to work with me and that he is filing a lawsuit against me for something.
But your office.
Yes, Judge.
Well, look, we happen to have Ms. Akinruli sitting right here. Perfect. So this time I'm going to appoint the Washtenaw County Public Defender to represent you. I'm not saying it has to be Mr. Feaster, and just because you're assigned to this courtroom. I'm also not condoning or saying that his threat to file a lawsuit against you isn't another tactic under this same vein. So to some extent, to the extent that a record needs to be made about your quality representation in this matter, I'm also fine with that. So let me ask the Attorney General's in this matter, the Attorney General's office. Are you okay with me giving you a trial date and a final pretrial date?
I'm fine with getting both of those, Judge. And I'm also absolutely fine with Mr. Feaster going on to represent Mr. Williams. I can work very collegially with Mr. Feaster. I do want to bring up, and I don't know if Mr. Feaster has a concern about it, but he did fire Mr. Feaster at district court in front of Judge Simpson. I don't know if that's a concern going forward or not. I'll leave that to him. But I don't have a problem setting dates.
Is again, at this point, if he's fired Mr. Feaster, he fired the Washtenaw County Public Defender. He also fired Ms. Woodson, who is his court-appointed attorney. We're not going to just keep going down the roster of court-appointed attorneys. I'm appointing the public defender to represent him. I'm confident that Mr. Feaster would do an excellent job. I'm also confident that Ms. Akinruli will do an excellent job. So, so based on the fact that I asked him whether he could hear me, that he is laying on the video right now with the covers over his head. I don't know if he wants to participate or not, but I'm moving. This ship has left the dock. So we are going to proceed at this time. So what I'm going to do is give you a final pretrial date in early February. And I'm going to give you a jury trial date in mid-February.
Judge, I am in trial in mid-February already.
Well, okay. I'm not saying I haven't given you the date yet, but when I give you a date, you tell me if it works, and if it doesn't, it's fine.
Sounds good.
So February 7th for a final pretrial. Okay.
That's fine.
That's at 1:30. And again, let me just stress to the Attorney General's office, it's not that I object to you appearing via Zoom. But if it's going to be resolved in any miraculous fashion, I'd rather have you here in person.
Absolutely.
But I understand that, if it's simply going to be proceed to trial, then I'm going to let you appear by Zoom. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
So remind me of that when I freak out that you're not here. Okay?
I will, Judge.
But then, all right, so what's a good week in February, mid to late February, that you could do the jury trial?
Judge, I start a jury trial in Genesee County on the 13th, and it is a 2-week trial at least. So it's going to go the week of the 13th, and then it's going to go the week of the 19th as well. Possibly spilling over into the 26th. I'm hoping it doesn't, but it might. So I could be available in March, however.
Okay, how about early March?
Judge, I do note that my OIC is out of the state on the week of the 11th. And the only reason I say that is I anticipate this might be a 2-week trial. I think it's going to be a lengthy trial. So I just want to make sure we have enough time spent and that I have all my appropriate witnesses. Let me see.
How about this? Final pretrial in this matter is Wednesday, February 7th at 1:30 p.m. Jury trial in this matter will be Monday, March 18th at 8:30 a.m. for jury selection. I don't have any other trials right now scheduled that date, so that's not going to be today because of trial. So we can count on that as a date that it's going to go. Okay.
I missed the date, Judge. You were breaking up. My apologies.
It's the 18th, March 18th.
Yep. If we can.
That's a Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. jury selection.
That works, Judge.
Does that also work for your counterpart? We good there?
Ms. Peterson, are you available to start picking a jury on the 18th of March?
Yes, that works for me. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Akiriak and Rulli, let's just go down the list. Is it okay with you?
1 second, Your Honor.
Or, I mean, theoretically, you, Mr. Feaster, or
March
somebody in your
18th.
office?
Well, somebody in my office could cover it. I'm
Right. I mean, I'm not getting into the inner workings of your office. We're going to go with the 18th of March. So let me ask you, Mr. Williams, did you hear all that? The record should reflect that the defendant has an iPad broadcasting device in his cell. He is laying on the bunk with the covers up over his head. And I'm just going to call that, as of today's date, another failure to participate, another reason why it is not appropriate that this defendant represent himself. So we'll see you all back here on February 7th. Okay?
Thank you, Judge, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, they have to take an iPad into the rooms for the prisoners, especially when they act like that. And then an officer has to hold it, or they have this little cart that they wheel around and they clip the iPad onto the cart, onto the top of it, like a big head. And they wheel that around from cell to cell. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe he was okay, so the judge had mentioned a previous court date, so maybe the other YouTubers had run his first case and maybe they didn't see the second one. I don't know. I don't know if I have the date of the first case downloaded or not. I'll have to go back through. McConlin is one I like getting, but I don't always, I'm not always able to get him. Oh, that was fun. And you want to have some more fun? Let's keep this crazy train going. Choo choo. Oh. And this is the April Seering exclusive that you will never see on any other channel. Unless they steal it from me.
2,500 cash or surety from an FTA that happened in March. All right. On behalf of Ms. Sadler, go ahead.
Your Honor, Ms. Sadler did indicate today that she was in the hospital at the time that this FTA happened. She did say that she was in a coma for months, so didn't have memory of this case. I obviously do not have medical records to that effect for today's purposes, but she did let me know that she was at Rose Hospital, then was transported to Porter and then Swedish. She said that she would be able to provide those records for me if she is able to be released. She also goes to a cardiologist every week at Porter for some heart issues and goes to a neurologist once a week at Craig. She was PR'd originally. She has a pretty limited criminal history looking over the pretrial report that was originally filed.
Yeah, but she's been gone for 9 months.
She has been gone. She did say that she was in a coma from about February to August.
6 months.
I'm gonna need some documentation to proceed on
I
that.
didn't know my name until today, until they arrested me.
Oh, okay. All right. So given that I need some sort of proof, because this is obviously quite an unusual request, I will note the nature of the charges. Do you want me to set it over until Friday and let you see if you can work on it?
I won't be able to get the records because they're actually with my, I had to go to the doctor to actually get them. They had me under Jane Doe. So I actually had to go to my doctors and actually had to personally get them because you tried requesting medical records for Jane Doe. What are you going to get?
Okay.
And I don't, I have, I'm supposed to, I have the coalition. I have an appointment to get into an apartment tomorrow. I was actually supposed to be there for tomorrow to get to the apartment. That's moving day. It's to actually get into an apartment.
How did she get arrested?
I think she was at her tent and police were called
First,
and there
somebody
was,
called a fake call in, saying that there was an armed suspect at a nearby business or something. And these people who wanted to try to steal my tent grabbed the cops. They said, "Oh, this person's there." And I was like trying to explain it. They grabbed my documentation. They grabbed, and I had been asleep when they collapsed the tent on my head.
Okay.
So I woke up with the cops there. So
What's the people's position?
Your Honor, I think skeptical would be putting it polite in terms of what's being told is if she's Jane Doe, but there's no association with her name, and yet she has paperwork with how the officers identified her. We'd object to a PR bond. We think that if they want to readdress bond with verified documents at a future court date, we
All
can
right.
address it then.
I'm not going to give her a PR bond given the length of time that she was gone. I will reduce the bond given the nature of the charges to $500 cash or surety. You can readdress bond at her next appearance.
No, come
How do you
on,
want to set
Judge.
going forward?
Your Honor, she did just want me to put on the record that she's going to lose housing that she has the appointment for tomorrow.
I don't have anybody to get out. I'm not trying to.
I understand that, Ms. Sadler, which is why I've offered December 22nd, if you want to try to see what you can do by then, but otherwise we're after the first of the year.
December, we'll take the soonest available. So December 22nd, this Friday.
All
I'll
right.
take it.
We will vacate the show. Oh, no, that's another case. We will set this matter for Friday, December 22nd at 8:30. And I guess it'll be for arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have no money, so I'm just going to sit here for no reason.
Oh, she keeps going.
Judge, we have an Eric Douglas in the gallery. He is a 4-H case, Mr. Hall's case. He says his paperwork said 2 o'clock, but I haven't seen any paperwork.
What's the case number?
Oh, yeah, I had to keep the clip going until she got through that door because she kept going until she got through that door. Right. We all still have to work through our comas. Now saw that and I was like, yes. Oh my goodness, finally I have something amazing. Well, you can take him to jail, chop him off, be like, not my problem. Oh, let's see what other wonderful, amazing things that I have for you guys. Oh, I don't think I've done that one. Oh, okay, this is really quick. I caught a hot mic. Now, I'm not entirely certain what all she's saying, and I'm not 100% certain on which one of them is saying it. But the mic got turned on while a group of lawyers was talking.
Oh, I will lift your nostril up and I'll fucking spray you right up the nostril. Oh my.
Like, who did that? Who turned mic on at that moment?
Oh, I will lift your nostril up and I'll fucking spray you right up the nostril. Oh my. I know, right? Okay, one more time. Y'all listen. Yeah. Okay, y'all, listen. This and the only people talking is a group full of lawyers. Oh, I will lift your nostril up and I'll fucking spray you right up the nostril. Oh my.
Okay. Well then. It was Judge Conlon's docket. I don't think his voice is that high. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I kind of think it might have been the girl in red. But I'm not sure. But she happened to take a sip of her coffee just as, the audio cut. But it could also have been that the mic had just gotten turned on and then turned off at just, that opportune moment. But it had to have been one of them. Like, oh. It's the chambermaid. Oh, that term just got a whole new meaning. Oh, that's Jessica Blanche. No, I know Jessica's voice. That was not Jessica's voice.
Yep. Nope. Yep. You're right. It was not Jessica's voice. I was trying to see whose mouth was moving at the time, and hers was moving, but that was not Jessica's voice. Yeah, dope. Well, and the guy lawyer, you could tell he realized it, I think. I think he realized that the mic was on because he was looking around. I don't think so. My best guess would be that they were discussing something that a defendant said or something like that. I don't know. I thought I heard something about nostrils and shoving something up here. I don't know. Oh, but I had to share that. I had to share that with you. Like, I still don't even know what that was. But it definitely had to be seen. Okay. And that was on the way to, I was going to play. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. This was an
That is
intentional.
Lazar Scott and Lynette Bowler. It looks like both of them answered. Okay, can I have both of you turn on your cameras, turn off your mute, and raise your right hands? Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I am showing that we have not received the child support payment since April of this year. So can you tell me what is going on, Mr. Scott?
I had expressed to Ms. Lynette that I was in the process of moving. So the payments was going to be it was going to slow up until I can get back on my feet.
But this has been going on since April. How long does it take you to move?
Now I have moved, but I had to get the money up to move. I'm not working right now.
And you think that this is a reason to not pay child support?
No, I don't think it's a reason not to pay child support, but I believe it's a reason. I mean, for me to be able to survive to even pay child support, I had to do this.
But how is your child supposed to survive? You're legally responsible for supporting a minor child. And if it were because of you, your child would not have eaten since April.
But I have to survive to be able to take care of my child too, right?
And so should we put you before an innocent child that is not even old enough to work a job? Or do you go first?
No, I don't believe that. I believe in taking care of my child. I don't have a problem with paying child support, but I also have other children in another case that I shouldn't even be paying child support for because they're grown. I don't understand why I'm still paying child support for them.
Well, that's
And,
not this case.
Because you
okay,
never
and
did
one
when they were
lives with
young.
me too. So, but this is what I'm saying. So it's a burden on me. I don't have the money. I'm not working right now to pay all this.
So why aren't you working?
I'm trying to figure out why am I still paying child support for people who's grown?
No. Why aren't you, but that's not the issue in this case. You've got a minor child here. Why aren't you working?
Well, I'm taking care of my brother and my mother right now.
Aren't they adults?
Yeah, they're elderly.
But they are responsible for themselves.
Not really. They're elderly.
Okay, well, you know, they cannot take priority over your minor child. I just want to make sure you understand.
Yeah,
You
I
can't,
understand that.
yeah, you can't claim priority over this child, and you can't bring family members in to say that they have a priority over this child.
Well,
Because it's
I'm
not
just
like,
saying.
it's not like you're paying $50 here and there. You have paid nothing. To me, when you tell Miss Bowler that, oh, you know, the payments are going to be slow, I would think that you're going to pay something, but you haven't paid anything.
Okay. Now, I was saying until I get back on my feet, I don't have a problem with paying child support.
Okay, and if it takes you 18 years to get back on your feet, what is the child supposed to do?
It's not going to take me 18 years.
Well, it's taking you a long time, and even when you were paying, it appears that you have had more months not paying than paying, because we're at $5,069.42. Miss Bowler, how old is this child?
4.
4. Oh my gosh. Yes, this child has only been on the earth for 4 years. So that would be 12, 24, 48 months. And out of those 48 months, you haven't paid anything if you're up to $5,000.
I haven't paid anything.
Basically, you have spent more money. You have paid more months that you did not pay than you did pay. Let's put it that way. In this child's short life, you have not managed to pay enough to even say that you've paid more than you have not paid during these months. But I know this is not a surprise to you, because you know exactly what you're doing. So I need to know when you are going to make your $300 payment, because this can't go on any longer.
I could make the payments sometime this month. But, Your Honor, like, I'm trying to figure out, how can I get my payments reduced?
Well, you
Like,
have to go,
'cause
go to child support, and you have to request it. You have to do the work. It's
Right.
not up to Ms. Bowler, and it's not up to the court. You have to do that. Okay, it's not going to just happen. And while you're going through whatever hearings or information, just remember, you have to pay $300 a month until such time. And Miss Bowler is being awfully nice, because you don't even have an arrearage amount. And, you know, so I don't even know if you can go before the court and say anything, because not only are you not paying your current support, but you're not even making payments towards your arrearage.
Well, they never tell me how to make no payments towards the arrearage. You just pay child
Because
support and it goes towards it.
But you're not. So it's not happening.
I haven't been paying. I just told you I was moving. So I'm trying to get back on my feet.
Some people come in here and they say that, you know what, their leg has been amputated. They were shot 6 times. You know, those I can kind of go with, but you can't tell me that you're moving and that's your reason for not paying child support. You know, some people, I've had clients who they are homeless and they make their child support payments. They're willing to make that sacrifice. And I'm definitely not telling you to do that, but you know, you certainly can't tell me that moving is an excuse, and that moving can take until April till now. And even before April, you never made a full child support payment.
That's because
$300 is low.
That's because they was taking it from the other case. They were splitting it up.
Well, as they should, because you've got the responsibility for more than one
that's
child.
why the payments wasn't in full. I was paying the
No,
payments.
they would be full if you made payments enough for both children. They're
Right.
not full because you're
And
not
there's no way
even
possible I
paying.
could do that. There's no way possible I could have had
So
did that.
what is
I wasn't working.
preventing you from working now?
I told you I'm taking care of my elderly mother and brother.
Okay, if that's going to be it, then I'm going to go ahead and issue the arrest warrant because that could go on for another 30 years. I mean,
I just said
that's not an excuse.
But Your Honor, if
What?
I'm willing to make the payment, like I just told you before, what's the problem
Okay.
now?
Okay.
Like,
Okay. We'll go with that. I'm going to put you down for my January 5th calendar. And we will follow up to see if that $300 payment has been made, January 5th, 2024. Okay, Ms. Bowler, can you be present that day? Because I think I'm going to need you to sign an arrest warrant.
Yes.
Okay,
No.
and it's not going to be,
So
you're
y'all
going to
want
have
to
to
sign
make,
an arrest
okay,
warrant?
absolutely, because
And I'm trying to make the payments.
basically what you're telling me is that you are unwilling to work a job and pay child support. I cannot accept that you're going to take care of your mother and your brother and not your child. And you have told me that over and over again.
No,
So
I
if
never
that's your
said I wasn't willing to work, Your Honor. I said this is what I was doing at the time. When have I
So
told you that this is what I'm continuously going to do?
because it's irrelevant, because you're mentioning it. It has nothing to do, you taking
No,
care of your mother and your brother has nothing to do with paying child support. Zero, because you do not have a legal obligation to help either of them. Your legal obligation is to your child. So you pay your child support first, and whatever is left over, that's what goes to your mother and your brother. And there's no other explanation that you can give me that's going to convince me that even if they're elderly, that you have a legal obligation to take care of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reset till January the 5th. And we'll see what is happening. And just remember, because I want to be clear that this child support obligation is for $300. I don't have a clue as to what your other obligation is for. I do know, however, that if you only pay $300, it's going to split, and this mother is not going to get $300. So, Attorney Carson, can you tell me how much the other case is so that he'll know exactly what he needs to pay so that Ms. Bowler can.
The custodian has requested that that case be closed. Is about $23 in fees. As soon as that $23 is paid, the case will close. Otherwise, it was $609 a month.
Oh, okay. So you don't, so that one is not going to draw any money.
No.
Okay, so you're in luck. You just have to make sure that you make that $300 payment, and then if you haven't, make that $23 payment, and that case will go away for you. Okay.
Yeah, I want to pay all of it. That's what I'm saying to you, Your Honor.
Okay.
You making it seem like I just want to take care of my mother and brother instead of my daughter.
I'm only going by what you've been doing for the last 6 months. That's all. That's my evidence. So that's all I can say. Okay, so I'm going to dismiss both of you. January the 5th, you will return, and have a Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stupid ass bitch.
I'm not muted. I'm not. I swear, I'm not. I'm not. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can too. It was only like 3 seconds, I swear. Those must have been some good edibles. I'll make up for it, I promise. Oh, well, my to take the clip off, I have to now scroll down because I played so many clips. And so I had to scroll down, which then hid my mute button. So, yeah. It's not me, it's the software. Or it might be me. They really are. That's why I love them. Oh, not me. Not me, man. I'm sober. Oh, oh, my tummy hurts. Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh, okay, I can't. Oh, I can't look at chat. I can't look at chat. I have to breathe. Ooh. That's not oxygen. Okay, I'm putting something else on. And then I'm going to go off camera for a minute. Ooh.
Now we will we will give, I'm not sure that I can do, let me see, I'm not very successful at breakout sessions. I'd like to ask the deputy in the Denver jail, is there a number? I've got to unmute you first. Is there a number that Ms. Schamberg could call and speak with Mr. Dietrich, or do we need to try to work with the breakout session? Is there a deputy? There's not a deputy in there with you?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I can get a deputy to come in.
Okay. It looks like Miss Fratello, the one that can do everything, can do a breakout session. So she is going to do a breakout session and override my technological incapability. So we will do a breakout session and we will be in recess for a few minutes. Ms. Wired has indicated she has no objection. And Ms. Schamberg, when you are finished speaking with Mr. Dietrich, please feel free to rejoin so that we can get this one done. Okay?
Thank you. This shouldn't take long. Thanks.
Thank you. I apologize. Is there someone in Logan that's trying to get my attention?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
Okay, I just wanted you to know we're not ignoring you. We're just waiting. So thanks for your patience.
I was just waving to a friend of mine. He used to be a guard. I was just waving at him. I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, Ms. Schomburg, were you able to conduct the breakout session?
Yes. And once he gets back over, we will be ready to go.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, of course. Oh, perfect.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Let's see. Hernandez Sebastian. Okay, I have it as Mr. Dietrich, so that is who we're speaking about, isn't it, Ms. Schamberg?
Yes. All
right, so now we are going to go to Morgan County case number 23 CR 303, People versus David Dietrich. And Mr. Dietrich is in custody in Denver. So Ms. Schamberg, I know we just had a breakout session. Did you have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Dietrich?
I did. I can waive further reading an advisement on the Rule 5, and Mr. Dietrich is not a veteran or in the active duty military.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Mr. Dietrich, we're going to find that through counsel, you have waived formal reading and advisement of rights, charges, and possible penalty. We now will move on to set bond for you, and we'll start with Ms. Wired.
Thank you, Judge. Defendant has been registering off and on since 1997 when he was convicted of a sex offense.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I would just ask us be mindful of what we're saying on the record. This is the only case that's holding Mr. Dietrich, so there is entirely the possibility he will be transported to the Morgan County Jail.
Just citing the facts, Judge. Anyway, he's been convicted 1 to 3 times of failure to register. So this is a class 5 rather than a 6. He was convicted in 2005, 2014, and 2023 of failure to register. Most recently registered in August of 23, so he was signed his acknowledgement that he needed to register April of coming up. I'm sorry. He has, it looks to me from the affidavit that he did not provide his last known address and he has not returned to update addresses. I believe that's the basis of this. He does have 3 failures to appear, 1 in 22, 1 in 2019, and 1 in 2017. That 17 and 19 failures to appear are in Denver. The 22 failure to appear is in Morgan County. Given the fact that this is not new news to the defendant that he needs to update his address and let law enforcement know where he is, people are objecting to a PR bond. And given his recent FTA in 2022, people do not have a problem with a co-signed PR bond, Judge, or a low cash bond if he doesn't have someone to co-sign for him.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Wired. Ms. Schamberg.
Your Honor, in this case, Mr. Dietrichs was released from the Morgan County Jail. He was only out of from what he reports to me, he was only out of the Morgan County Jail for a day or two before he ended up at the hospital in Fort Morgan due to some heart pain, as well as it sounds like some possible co-occurring disorders. Fort Morgan Hospital eventually transported him to a hospital in Denver, which is how he ended up in Denver custody. It sounds, from what he's reported, he's been at the hospital consistently for the past 5 months, since he's been released, essentially, receiving medical treatment. He was actually arrested on this warrant at the hospital in Denver. If released from the jail, it sounds like he's just going to be going back to the hospital in Denver. I've spoken to him about the resources at the Denver hospital that might be able to help him get into compliance with any registration requirements, as well as or when he can talk to someone at the jail who might be able to help him as he's getting transported back to the hospital if he's released. At this point, we are asking for a straight PR bond so he can go back to receiving medical treatment. I would say it is quite unusual, based off Mr. Dietrich's history, for him to have, back-to-back FTRs like we're seeing here. And that does lead me to believe he is being honest about his stay at the hospital. And I'd ask that the court grant him one chance on a PR bond. That's all we're asking, one chance on a straight PR bond. He's not going anywhere. His life's in Colorado. And that's what we're asking for at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. After reviewing the affidavit, Ms. Wired is correct. It was a failure to update an address, is what it appears from the affidavit to me as well. I do see that there were a couple of other times that there was a failure to register. However, in this case, the purpose of bond is to ensure your appearance in court and to protect the public safety. You've had a few FTAs in Morgan County in 2022. That always gives the court tremendous concern about your ability to appear in court. And for the public safety, it's just extremely important that you register in accordance with the guidelines and that you make sure you know the guidelines and that you follow them. I do think that under the circumstances as described by Ms. Schamberg, I do believe that possibly a one chance PR bond is warranted in this particular case so that you can get back to the hospital and get the medical treatment that you need. However, before you leave, you are going to have to find a way to register and make sure that it is updated. And you are going to have to, so you're going to have to check with whatever resources are there in order to get you registered and in compliance prior to getting out of custody. I'm going to issue, just because of the failures to appear and the previous failures to register, I am going to issue a $7,500 PR bond. The protection order will read, you shall not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness or victim of the act you're charged with committing. This will be a condition of your bond. If you violate this condition, you'll be in violation of your bond and could be subject to having your bond revoked. In addition, violation of the protection order can result in additional criminal charges or contempt of court charges against you, and it will remain in place throughout your case, including any sentence you may serve. Your other conditions of bond are you must find a way to complete your registration before you are released from custody. If that is not possible after executing all of your resources, you must do it immediately after you are you are released. You cannot leave the state without court permission. You must remain law abiding while out on bond. You must sign a waiver of extradition. You must notify the Morgan County District Court of any change of address within 1 business day. We do need to be able to find you. The next court date is January 18th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. in Morgan County Division C. And if you'd like to have an attorney appointed to represent you, please do fill out the application for the public defender. Turn it in within 7 days of your release, and if you're eligible, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you at no cost to you except for a possible $25 court appointment fee. Do you have any questions regarding bond for me, Mr. Dietrich?
I can't afford it. I'm on disability.
Oh, it's a personal recognizance bond, so it's just a signature bond. You're just gonna sign. If you don't show up to court, then you could owe the money.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay, all right.
thank you.
All right, well, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Now, I'm sorry for the jumping around today. We've had a terribly crazy day. We will go back to Logan County and we'll call the case of 23 CR 285 People versus Connor McCormick. So Ms. Schamberg, have you had a chance to speak with Mr. McCormick?
Yes, Your Honor, I have. We can waive further reading of advisement under Rule 5. Mr. McCormick is not a veteran and is not active duty military.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Schamberg. Mr. McCormick, we're going to find that through counsel, you waived formal reading and advisement of rights, charges, and possible penalties. We are now going to go to set bond for you, and we will start bond arguments with Ms. Wired.
Thank you, Judge. A defendant has some convictions recently, BPO out of Morgan in 23, disorderly conduct in Morgan 23, DV harassment in 22. He was on probation that was revoked and he served jail on that. He also had a second-degree assault with a deadly weapon in 2000 out of Morgan. He was on probation for that. It was revoked and he served jail on that. It looks like he is still dealing with that case because it looks like he posted bond in September of 23. He has one failure to appear. That would be July of 22. Judge, I am objecting to a PR bond. The facts of this case are extremely egregious. This defendant strangled the victim multiple times to the point where he lost consciousness multiple times. It was so bad that, first of all, he didn't fight back. This is a brother that was assaulted. But law enforcement observed that he couldn't talk. He had a scratchy voice. He already had dark coloring, bruising and swelling at his jaw and neck. 2 very distinct locations on both the right and the left side of the neck, stretching all the way to his chin. The petechiae was not noticed, but that does not mean that it has not developed since then. There is a corroboration here. And this just incredibly concerning that the defendant would do this to his own brother. Now, I will tell the court he just recently was in court. He was had probation violations and he had walked away from ComCorp. He ended up only doing a 90-day jail sentence on that. And then since then, this has occurred. So I think the court should take that into consideration as well. Judge, I am very concerned for this behavior. I think he poses a great risk to the community when he's able to do this to his own brother, and he just walked away from ComCorp in another case. So I'm objecting to a PR bond again. I'm asking for bond to be set in the amount of $7,500 cash surety.
Okay, thank you very much. I am sorry. I'm sorry about that. I just got a message that I had to follow up on. But I did hear your argument, Ms. Wired, and I do appreciate it. And we will now go to Ms. Schamberg.
Your Honor, Mr. McCormick, first, the only failure to appear he's had has been in a traffic matter. He's never failed to appear in any criminal matter, such as one he'd be facing in this. Well, Miss Wired says there's corroboration.
Good night, dolphins. Thank you, and I love you.
of this happening. Notably, the other witness in the room doesn't corroborate what the witness says about passing out. In fact, she says she never sees him passing out multiple times like he says happened. And so, I think that, again, Mr. McCormick is presumed to be innocent. I don't think the court should take the worst case scenario of this affidavit, especially when there are facts in the affidavit that contradict those facts. Mr. McCormick has had no recent history that would indicate any of that this kind of explosive violence is an ongoing issue, or is even something that is a concern or something that does happen. He does have a significant other. She is currently pregnant. He has been working hard to try to support her. He does have a job with J&S Construction. He's been working with that company for 2 years. Unfortunately, that they just had a job contract fall through. So it sounds like that company won't have work for him until the next couple of weeks after the holidays. But he's been working to make sure his significant other is taken care of along with his baby before himself. However, he does have a working phone. He is able to get to court. He does have a place to stay in Fort Morgan, not with Mr. Jerome. So he would be able to get to court easily. He has gone to Centennial Mental Health for services before, and he's looking to start going there again, given the fact that jail, I think understandably, is very hard on his mental health. However, Your Honor, he is willing to show the court whatever the court essentially requires to show that he's not a danger to the community. If the court wants to make Centennial Mental Health appointments a condition of bond, that is fine with Mr. McCormick. But Your Honor, Mr. McCormick obviously I think the affidavit supports that this is not as clear-cut a case as Ms. Wyrd presents. And I think that his recent history supports that he is not a danger to the community and that he is not going to fail to appear. He has ties to the community, and he is willing to obey any conditions the court might have that would ease the court's concerns for community safety.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Schamberg. Just a minute, are you, hold on, I gotta get my mouse over there. Are you raising your hand, Mr. McCormick?
Much love, Palmyra Productions. Thanks for coming out. See you soon.
The only way I can hear from you is to ask a question regarding bond. You cannot talk about the facts of your case because that's not good for you here, okay? And it's not going to have any influence. So if you have a question, please state your question.
It was about the case. It was just a known fact of the case, though, that just got left out. I just wanted to make sure that my public defender, she got that as well, because we did not discuss that earlier, and a lot of that went just right over my head with everything that's going on. I don't.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I don't think that is anything that would necessarily affect bond. If I misheard anything, Ms. Schamberg, please let me know. Okay. Okay, so I have reviewed the affidavit and I have listened to the arguments of counsel. And in this case, although Ms. Schenberg does make a very compelling case, but and there are some contradictions in the affidavit. I do understand that. But this activity is extremely concerning. Whether or not he actually lost consciousness, there was bruising, and the sheriff's department noticed that he had trouble speaking. This very easily could have turned much worse. And I think that it is extremely, I think when you combine that, with some of your past history and history of walking, allegedly walking away from ComCore, again, these are allegations. You will have a chance to defend your case, but but we do, in the meantime, need to ensure your appearance in court and protect the public safety. It appears that probation was revoked in a few cases. There are some allegations of leaving ComCore in a few cases. That does not indicate to the court your willingness to or ability to follow court orders and appear in court as necessary. In addition, for the public safety, this was quite an incident, and it was to someone that you were close to. And I don't believe that based on that the protection order is necessarily going to protect the victim in this case. And for those reasons, I do not believe that a personal recognizance bond is appropriate. I do think that a $7,500 cash or surety bond, as requested by Ms. Wired, is appropriate in this case. The protection order will read that you shall not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness or victim of the act you're charged with committing. You shall vacate the home of the victim or witnesses and stay away from any other location the victims or witnesses are likely to be found, and that will be a 100-yard distance restriction. You shall refrain from contacting or directly or indirectly communicating with the victim or witnesses. You shall not possess, purchase, or control a firearm or other weapon. You shall not possess or consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substances. This will be a condition of your bond. If you violate this order, you'll be in violation of your bond and could be subject to having your bond revoked. In addition, violation of the protection order can result in additional criminal charges or contempt of court charges against you. The victims in this case are Mariah Haynes and Jerome Damond, I believe. And the order will remain in place throughout your case, including any sentence you may serve. Your other conditions of bond are: you cannot leave the state without court permission. You must remain law-abiding while out on bond. You must sign a waiver of extradition. You must notify the court of any change of address within 1 business day. Your next court date is January 22nd, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. in Logan County Division B. And if you'd like to have an attorney appointed to represent you, please fill out the application for the public defender, turn it in within 7 days of your release. And if you're eligible, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you at no cost to you, except for a possible $25 court appointment fee. If you remain in custody, an attorney will be appointed to represent you and will be coming to talk to you, and you can address any questions or issues you have with your attorney at that time. If you are released, I will give you a Bridges referral, which will hopefully maybe put you back into contact with Centennial Mental Health if you would like to pursue that option. I do wish you the best of luck, Mr. McCormick.
Apologies, Your Honor. I don't believe Mr. McCormick will be getting out of custody. I'd ask that the court give the people a deadline to file a complaint in this case.
To file, I'm sorry, a what?
File a complaint in this case.
Yes. Okay, yeah, the district attorney's office will have 10 days to file a complaint in this case.
That's standard, Judge. We understand that.
And that's why I sometimes forget to say it, although I shouldn't. But I really do appreciate that, Ms. Schenberg, for you bringing that to my attention. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes.
There is a fact in this case that is going unsaid.
Mr. McCormick, this will not change your bond at this time. I'm advising you
Mr.
not to
McCormick, I have made my ruling at this time, but those are things that you need to talk with your attorney about, okay?
I'm trying to, I'm just trying to let y'all know that me and him, we both hugged and walked away from that incident. And
Well, I hope
it's-
that you can get the issues worked out and you can move forward. I'm not going to let you say anything else because I'm afraid that you might say something that could be used against you. Okay, so good luck to you, Mr. McCormick. Okay, so we're now going to move to 23 M240 People versus Christopher. And I do very much apologize. Can you tell me how to say your last name?
Sharma.
Okay, we're going to pause for 1 second with that docket. The next guy that's going to play, he was almost the April Seering exclusive for the night, but Coma Lady did it better. But this will make a lot more sense as far as what the child support lady is saying to the judge. Since y'all have seen the ghost judge for the night, but I have to put this one on with everybody else going off to bed. I have to put this on real quick.
Start going down the list of the iPhones. Bringing them
let's
in.
go. Yeah, let's bring in the iPhone.
Okay.
Because I'm taking that. Yeah, bring them in first and then we'll see who it matches up with. Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, you're back in full vision, though. I can see clearly now.
Yes. I don't even. It must be some way that the sun hits that causes.
I don't think so. It looked like a technical thing because when you'd move
Really?
it in certain ways, you'd flash on and flash off. So
yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
camera loose or wire loose.
I'm not sure who this is, but I'm about to
Yeah,
I'm about
I
to
mean,
put
if
her back
she's
in the waiting room.
well, I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, if somebody's sleeping, there's just nothing I can do with that. So whoever that is, well, I guess we
Okay.
need to figure out.
She was pulling an April. All right, guys, we're going back to that other docket, and this guy's fun.
Shardama? Okay, thank you. Ms. Schamberg, have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Shardama?
No.
No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. I was hung up on during my last advisement at the Logan County Jail and wasn't able to call them back before court.
Okay, so Mr. Shardama, did you get to see a video describing your rights in criminal cases before you were brought in today?
I saw about 5 minutes of the video, then you came on. So I didn't hear the whole thing.
Okay, I can go through your rights with you real quickly, and then I will advise you of your charges and possible penalties, and then we'll argue bond, okay?
Okay.
So when you're charged with a criminal case, you have the right to enter a plea of not guilty and have a trial either to the court or to a jury. The right to be represented by an attorney at all stages of the proceeding. If you're charged with an offense that includes a possible jail sentence and you want an attorney but cannot afford one, you can ask the court to appoint an attorney for you, and that will be by filling out the application for the public defender, which I will talk about at the end.
Yes, ma'am.
You are presumed innocent of the allegations against you. You will continue to be presumed innocent unless and until the prosecution presents enough evidence to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses called to testify against you. You have the right to present evidence on your own behalf and to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf by having subpoenas issued by the court. You have the right to remain silent at all stages of the proceedings, including today. When deciding whether to remain silent, it's very important to know that anything you say can be used against you either now or later, and that all these proceedings are being recorded. You have the right to testify on your own behalf at trial or not to testify. This choice is yours and yours alone. No one, not even your attorney, can force you either way. You have the right to a speedy and public trial. If you decide to enter a plea in your case, any plea must be entered voluntarily on your part and must not be the result of a coercion or undue influence by anyone. You are not charged with a felony in this case, so you will not be entitled to a preliminary hearing. Are you a veteran, Mr. Shardema?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And if you are not a United States citizen, any plea you enter may affect your immigration status. We don't know that immigration status, so if it applies to you, please do check it out before you enter any plea, so you know what effect that any plea could have on you.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with violation of a civil protection order, which is a class 2 misdemeanor. A class 2 misdemeanor is punishable by, let's see, 10 to 90 days in jail, a $150 to $300 fine, or both. You are also charged with harassment, telephone threats, which is also a class 2 misdemeanor. Again, punishable by 10 to 90 days in jail and a $150 to $300 fine. Without saying whether you agree with those charges, do you understand them as I have read them to you?
I do. What doesn't get me is it's a violation of the First Amendment. You have a right of free speech, correct?
Well, we're not going to argue about that here today. We're here to set bond today. That is something that you can address with your attorney going forward, okay? So now we are gonna argue bond, and we will start bond arguments with Ms. Wired.
Thank you, Judge. I am asking for a bond in this case. I understand these are class 2 misdemeanors, but they meet the exception. The defendant has currently pending a DV harassment with the same victim out of Arapahoe County, possession of a controlled substance out of Jefferson County, and a stalking out of Boulder County. In addition, he has convictions, a DV conviction in 2015, which ran concurrent to an older case out of Douglas County. He also has a DV out of 2015 out of Douglas County. A second degree assault in 2010 out of Arapahoe County. He served DOC time consecutive to his escape out of Arapahoe County. That was a DOC sentence. He has ID theft back in 2007, criminal mischief in 2007. He also has 2 failures to appear, one in December of 22 out of Jefferson County and another 12/15/22 out of Jefferson County. The facts of this case are concerning. I understand it is a VPO. However, Judge, this is someone who threatened the victim 60 times, threatening her and her boyfriend, but then stating that this would all go away if she would just come back and be his wife. This would be, and for the court's knowledge, he has 3 DVs on his record. So I think the court should take that into consideration. And harassment, repeat phone contact, that's the stalking case in Boulder.
But he was just exercising his First Amendment right.
Given that, Judge, that people believe a PR bond is not appropriate, even though these are M2s, and people are asking for bond to be set in the amount of $2,500 cash surety.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and I should tell the court, I'm sorry, I did have contact with the victim in this case. She stated that obviously there's that permanent protection order in place. She does want to have a no contact in this case as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Wired.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Schimberg.
Your Honor, obviously, I haven't had a chance to talk to Mr. Jardema, and so I would, despite my argument here today, I'd ask to reserve bond to the next court date, and I'd ask for the next court date to be as soon as possible after this. I first would note to the court, despite the 3 pending cases, 2 of the pending cases, Mr. Jardema hasn't even had a chance to be seen on yet. And they were both filed back in 2022. One out of Boulder and one out of Arapahoe. And then a pending Jefferson County drug case. I've already emailed the other counties to see about getting him added on for advisements, but I'll just tell the court I've come from Arapahoe County. That's where I was practicing before. They are not great about the 48-hour bond rule. And They don't believe there is any remedy when it's violated. So I sincerely doubt he will be getting a PR bond there. I also know Boulder County is also not great about the 48-hour bond rule. I don't think Mr. Jardema is getting out of custody, even if the court were to grant a PR bond in this case. I think it's more likely he will be transported to either Arapahoe or Boulder, which, quite frankly, we're still requesting a PR bond so that can happen. So
he's scary. Keep him in custody.
He can start addressing those cases. Quite frankly, the Boulder case is more serious, and it'd be great if he could start getting that case addressed. Despite his criminal history, he only has 2 failures to appear. Mr. Jardema is right. There are First Amendment concerns in this case. And this is something I have litigated before successfully in regards to this specific statute in the way it's written. Obviously, I don't have access to discovery, so I can't say how it is as applied to this case. But I think that's something the court should be mindful of when setting bond in this case.
60 calls.
And specifically in this case, given the conduct is alleged to, the alleged conduct is limited to telephone conduct.
He called the victim 60 times. And that's not all. That's just one of the allegations. 60. I think the stalking and harassment charge has merit. 60 threatening calls.
And so we are asking the court to grant a personal recognizance bond in this case. All of his cases involving Miss Anderson are allegations at this point. There have been no proven charges where she is the reporting party or the complaining witness. All of these are pending cases where Mr. Jardema hasn't even had a chance to have a day in court. And so we are asking the court to grant personal recognizance bonds in these cases.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Schamberg. I have reviewed the affidavit in this case, and I have listened to the arguments of counsel. And the purpose of bond is to ensure your appearance in court and to protect the public safety. I am not at all certain you do have ties to the community. I'm not sure that you would not appear in court because even the DOC escape occurred quite some time ago. So I'm not overly concerned about that.
Escape.
However, the public safety is a huge issue here. These are class 2 misdemeanors, but I believe that their allegations, and you do have the right to fully defend them, including raising any First Amendment concerns later on. But the threats that were made, that are alleged to have been made, were really, really gruesome almost. I mean, they were dangerous and they were scary. The other thing is that the victim stated that she had nothing to do. You guys had nothing to do with each other for over a year, and she was not even sure how you got her phone number, which meant that if those allegations are true, then maybe you were searching for her or something like that. We have to err on the side of protecting society and protecting the victim in cases like this. And because of that, even though these are M2s, I do think that continued detention is necessary to prevent possible harm to the victim. There's just no reason for you to have been in contact with her without looking for her, according to the allegations. So for that reason, I do not think a personal recognizance bond is appropriate. I am going to set a $2,500 cash or surety bond. I realize that you do have to deal with your other cases, and you may speak with your attorney about a modification of bond. The protection order in this case is going to read that you shall not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness or victim of the act you're charged with committing. You will vacate the home of the victim, which I'm assuming that's not a problem. And you will stay away from any other location the victim is likely to be found. And that will be a 100-yard distance from any place she is likely to be found, including her home. I do not have an address for her at this time. You shall refrain from contacting or directly or indirectly communicating with the victim in any way whatsoever through a third party, writing, anything. I will ask you if you have a question regarding bond in a minute, but for right now, I am making my ruling, okay? And I don't think that anything that you will say will change that. You shall refrain from contacting or directly or indirectly communicating with the victim in any way, shape, or form, including through a third party. You shall not possess, purchase, or control a firearm or other weapon. You shall not possess or consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substances. You shall not possess or purchase any ammunition. And because of the domestic violence nature of these allegations, you will need to relinquish any firearms in your possession or control or subject to your possession or control within 24 hours of your release. The jail will have the paperwork there showing you how to do it. You can shake your head no all you want, but if you violate your bond conditions, you're going to get in trouble. The jail will have the paperwork telling you how to relinquish your firearms. The next court hearing will be a compliance hearing to make sure that firearms order has been complied with. The victim in this case is Joanna Anderson. This order is a condition of your bond. If you violate this order, you will be in violation of your bond and will be subject to having your bond revoked. In addition, violation of the protection order will result in additional criminal charges or contempt of court charges against you. And it will remain in place throughout your case, including any sentence you may serve. Your other conditions of bond are that you must remain law-abiding while out on bond. You must sign a waiver of extradition. You must notify the court of any change of address within 1 business day. Your next court date will be December 20th, 2023 at 10 o'clock a.m. in Logan County Division 1. And if you would like to have an attorney appointed to represent you, fill out the application for the public defender, turn it in within 7 days of your release. And if you're eligible, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you at no cost to you except for a possible $25 court appointment fee. If you remain in custody, an attorney will be appointed to represent you and someone will be coming to talk to you. Now, Mr. Shardema, I would normally ask you if you had any questions, but you're going to have to save those for your attorney because you have been a bit disrespectful during this time, shaking your head no that you're not going to comply and things like that. And so you will have an opportunity to speak with an attorney and you can ask your attorney any questions that you may have regarding bond or anything else. So thank you and good luck to you.
Go judge. Wow. I have some more of that judge and that docket too. That there's a whole bunch of good stuff on it. There really is. But I'm gonna play one more clip for the night. And then I should probably get off to bed. But there's one more that has to be played. Because, you know, we kind of have a theme going on tonight. I just have to find it. So y'all just have to bear with me for just a moment. Okay. I think this is it. I might be wrong.
Haygood and Candace Harper. Okay, and Mr. Haygood is
Nope. Wait.
Number 8. And Mr. Haygood, we will need to be able to see you in the frame of the camera.
Okay, I was right.
Okay. And child support for position number 8, I see a payment on 11/29. Did anything else come in on that one?
Not as of last night when I checked, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me have Ms. Harper and Mr. Hager both raise their right hands and take yourself off of mute. Okay, can you remove mute, Mr. Haygood? Okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. Okay, and I understand you're not feeling well, Mr. Haygood. We'll try to keep this as brief as possible. So I do show a recent payment within 30 days, but it's not for the amount of $418. Was there another amount also paid? Okay, Mr. Haygood, you're back on mute.
Only payment that I made.
That was.
Mhm.
Okay. And what are you doing to get back on track with child support? Are you working now?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Well,
You know, I do see that you have made payments in September, October, and November. Is there going to be a payment for December?
yes.
Okay. Okay, and are you receiving those monies, Ms. Harper? Oh, you're back on mute, Ms. Harper.
I am, but I don't think that he is caught up to paying because I think he skipped a month. But I think he's not paying when he's supposed to pay. He's only paying because he knows there's a court calendar coming up.
Right.
So he's paying within a couple of days just to show that he's making payment.
There's no way for anybody to say I'm only paying because there's a court calendar coming up. If you can look at my track record, I've always paid my child support. It wasn't until I was on disability that I have not paid a substantial decline in my income. I mean, you can't take a microcosm snapshot of me within the last 8 months. And I haven't missed a payment since she filed for this. And furthermore, I don't think that the way that I'm paying is showing a willingness not to pay.
Okay. I do see, some consistency here, although the problem is that it's not for the actual amount. Is there, I do understand that you've got limited income, but is the amount that you're paying, are you able to meet that $418? You're getting pretty close.
I'm doing everything I can to give her exactly what she's supposed to be paying. But my income was cut by 60%. I don't have any intention on not paying my child support. I never did that. Even when I paid my child support and she needed some extra, I was able to give her extra. That's just
We're
not my
not talking
character.
about extra. She actually stated that extra doesn't count. So we're not talking about extra. I'm talking about Judge, like he missed April's payment. He made a payment in May. He missed June's payment and made a payment in July. And then he made a payment in August, September, October. But that, like him not paying the full amount is like frustrating, being that he doesn't want to assist his own child with college requests that she's actually requested him. He doesn't want to add her onto his VA policy. I mean, I don't know what else to do. So, like it's such an inconvenience to have to come to court every month because he fails to do what he needs to do in a timely manner. He wants to do things on his own time.
Hold on, because I have a recollection. Was this the child support? Was this the case that we had some issues with the amount of disability being received?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I believe that when it was checked into, you're getting a significant amount of disability from the military, and you're not contributing your child support that the court has ordered you to do. Is there a reason why you're not paying? I mean, you're very close in the amount that you're paying. Why don't you just go ahead and pay your full amount?
Your Honor, I explained to you that my income has been cut more than 60%.
Well, but we had evidence showing that maybe it was, cut by a significant amount, but the amount that you're receiving is still significant.
Right,
Well, tell you what we're going to do, because I know you're not feeling well. I need you to present paperwork and I don't want it to be old. I want new paperwork of your monthly disability check to show me exactly what you are getting. And I'm going to need that by our next hearing date. Miss Lanier, what's our second? Wait a minute, let me think for a second. Yes, our second calendar in January is what date?
She wants to write
January the 19th.
Okay. Okay, so do you understand what I need, Mr. Haygood? Okay, okay. And and it's gonna have to be official, because I want to say there was something that wasn't right about some of the paperwork that we've received in the past, but we're gonna need to get that. Also, Miss Harper, are you able to get any paperwork, or has it just been by chance that you've received information? Because I think our information came from you.
So I haven't been able to get any information in regards to the VA. I've tried, but I don't know, he refuses to. His child reached out to him wanting information to apply for college, and he told her he wasn't in a position to help her. So I don't know. We're just taking things day by day and coming to court as scheduled.
See, this dad makes me really, really mad. It costs him nothing to put his child on his VA benefits, for her to have VA health insurance. It doesn't put the mom on, just the kid. And he won't do it. The kid reached out to him for information that she needed for her college applications, and he wouldn't do it. He wasn't in a position to help her by giving her the information she needed. What a piece of crap. And he won't even make his child support payments that are roughly but less than 10% of what he's getting per month. He is very selfish. And I can't believe that he is a member of the military, because I can't imagine military members acting like this. Seriously can't. Like, it makes me mad.
Your Honor, the last documentation I saw was a letter that I got from Ms. Harper, and it looked like when she tried to apply for dependent benefits, it looked like Mr. Haygood had already tried to put the child on, and maybe said the child lived with him so that she wasn't able to get benefits. But the letter really wasn't clear, but that's what it appeared to be to me.
Yeah.
If you received paperwork,
messed it up for her.
It was not true. I've never done that. I've never done that.
Okay, so you're under oath right now. What do you get in disability benefits each month?
$4,100.
$4,100.
Right.
And you can't pay another $100 towards your child support?
And I'm doing everything that I can giving the maximum amount that I can and still be able to sustain.
Well, but you know, we don't count your expenses and your lifestyle as what prevents you from paying child support. You know, your last payment was 309, the one before it was 387. I don't see a reason why you can't just pay 418. Why do we have to keep doing this?
See, you can sit where you are and say, I don't see why, but I'm the one living this life, and it's difficult for me to pay anything
No,
extra.
no, no. You brought a child into this world. And as far as the court's concerned, that child comes before you. That child comes before Miss Harper. You are the one who you can't sit there in your seat and explain to me why you don't have the ability to provide support, adequate support for your minor dependent child. It's not up to you to decide that. The court has made that determination.
Your Honor, she is not my only child. But my other
But did
children,
you,
they have needs as well.
and those other children, are their mothers also have you on child support?
He only has one. He has two other ones, and he does have another case. But
okay,
she's not pressing the issue because she doesn't get the backlash that I get when it comes to my child.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because
Your Honor, it looks like he's paying roughly $600, maybe $700 between the two cases. The other case is the same amount, 418.
So, you know, at some point, Mr. Haygood, you know, because you are more than a child support payment, you know, in arrears, you know, we're going to have, and I hope you understand that this is never going to end. You have $5,054 in arrearage. It will stay there beyond the age of majority for the child. But what we want is, rather than you paying after your child is 18, we want the child, while they're in the home, to have the benefit of these monies. You know, I mean, it really does not do the same thing if you're just trickling money, you know, after the child has already reached the age of 18, to repay the mother for what she has had to put out to support your child. So I just want to know, when are you going to start paying your 418?
But I don't want to sit here and give you a date or anything, because you know, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, well, I'll be able to do it next month. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it next month.
So you're okay with a warrant being issued and being put in jail?
For not paying?
Yes.
I have paid.
But you're not paying the amount. And if you remember from my, you know, from the information I provided to you at the beginning, is this is considered willful. You are choosing not to pay. It's not a situation where you have no job or you've got some kind of situation. We expect you to take out a loan and pay your child support while it is due, and then you can pay that off to the bank. But this is an expectation. It's not up to you to make a choice.
Your Honor, my situation won't allow me to get a loan, and I'm not willfully not paying the child support. I'm paying the maximum amount that I can at this
Okay,
time.
well, you really need to think this over. So I'm going to give you to January the 19th, and then we're just going to have to move things on, and you can do the trial in state court and explain all of this to them after you've been booked and fingerprinted. But I'm not going to belabor this because we've been back and forth on this for way too long, and you're getting a substantial check every month. There's plenty of people who make far less money than you that are paying more and have more children and more responsibilities. I don't know what your responsibilities are, but if you need to move into a smaller house or drive a less expensive car, that's what you need to do. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this, and we will be back on the 19th. Okay?
Thank
Your
you.
Honor,
Any questions?
Your Honor, it's
Okay.
probably irrelevant, but I misspoke. His other case is $546 a month, so he's paying roughly $700 to $800 a month between the two cases.
Okay. Okay, we can take it into consideration, but until there's been some kind of, adjudication by the court by way of a modification, you owe $418 a month. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss both of you to go.
Thank you. Have a good
And
day.
you're welcome.
Yeah, and I really liked the judge's comment where she basically told him, you can think about this from jail. She's like, yep, and you can think about it after you've been fingerprinted and booked in. I really do like that judge, and I've got more clips from her from that docket actually. And I have an unedited docket from the week before that I didn't realize that I grabbed. I get over 50 dockets a day. So, and and there's just not enough hours in the day to go through all of them like that. So I have to rely on my spidey senses and wait for them to tingle and tell me which ones to get. And they did us proud today. And I don't think Matt Queen has caught up yet. I'm ready to go to bed. He's watching 1.5 speed, and I don't think he's made it here yet. Matt, we love you. And you're just going to have to see this later. I'm going to go to bed, y'all. I need to be awake in like 5 hours or less-ish. Yes. Good night, everybody. And I will be back tonight. Oh, I know, honey. It makes me mad. It makes me mad. Because I have a personal story relating to that, but it's somebody else's business, but it's my family, so it makes me mad that someone did that to them. And Joker, I love you. Oh, wait, let me say that without the comment up there. Joker, I love you. Oh, yes, I love you. So happy you made it out tonight. You guys are the absolute best. I love you all so much. Man, my hair doesn't look good anymore. Oh, I love you. All right. Y'all, you know the drill. For my friends across the pond, have a wonderful day. To my friends here at home, sleep sweet. Be safe. Be well. And much love.